soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I will worship His holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, no matter what, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I will worship Your holy name. Oh, You're rich in love and You're slow to anger. Your name is great and Your heart is kind. For all Your goodness I will keep on singing. 2,000 reasons for my heart to find. Sing it out, bless the Lord. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship Your holy And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, still will sing Your praise unending. 10,000 years and then forevermore. Bless the Lord, my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship Your holy name. Lord, I worship Your holy name. Lord, I worship Your holy name. Lord, I worship Your holy name. Think there is no one like our God. There is no one like our God. We will praise You, praise. There is no one like our God. We will sing, we will sing. There is no one like our God. We will praise You, praise. There is no one like our God. We will sing. Lord of all the earth, we shout Your name, shout Your name, filling up the skies with endless praise, endless praise. Yahweh, Yahweh, we love to shout Your name. Oh, bless your name, oh. Let's worship. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship his holy name, sing like never before, oh my soul, I will worship his holy name. New day dawning, it's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, no matter what, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship his holy name, sing like never before, oh my soul, I will worship your holy name. Oh, you're rich in love, and you're slow to anger. Your name is great, and your heart is kind.
Yeah. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome tonight to our middle of the week fellowship and service tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Those who may be joining us online, we welcome you as well. And excited about getting into our Bible study here in a few minutes. Hopefully you found this and you're watching live, or you're maybe watching this later on in the replay. And I hope this study has been encouraging to you. It's been a blessing to me. I read this book, or I should say more accurately, I listened to this book. And when I listened to it, of course, gained some insight and some understanding from the practical side of things. But it was really cool going back and now teaching it from a biblical perspective and seeing the biblical basis of these various habits. It's been a real kind of blessing, and seeing how it all fits together. So hopefully it's been that way to you, and something that you can kind of incorporate into your life, and it'll help you to really enjoy more of your days and really live life the way the Lord wanted us to live it. So we've started off this study. We started talking about the first two habits, which we're trying to put away those dead yesterdays. And we talked about flipping the script, rewriting our story, how the Lord is in the business of rewriting stories. And Kissing the Wave was about really taking the things that happened in our past, the hardships, the painful experiences, and using them as something of a momentum, even to the point where we looked at it from a perspective of kissing those things goodbye and finally letting go of those things and putting them out of our life, and don't live in the past, and certainly don't allow ourselves to be trapped by our pain. And then we kind of switched to the winning the day period, the present time, and we looked at eating the frog, meaning that we got to do what we know we've been putting off. We know there are certain things that we need to do, and there's some things that we probably need to get rid of, and then we just learn that that's kind of the frog in our lives. And so we talked about eating the frog, and then we talked about flying the kite, which is doing the small things and being faithful with the small things. And if we learn to do those small things over time, they'll become habit and can really help us to have strong growth in our walk with God and in our daily routines of life. And so we know there's the past we got to deal with. We know there's the present, which is what God gives us each day. We're not promised tomorrow, but we are not to just live in the present, we are to remember that God is planning the future for us. If not, if God didn't want us to look forward to something, He wouldn't have told us about heaven. He wouldn't have given us the book and look forward to, and some things that we can look forward to. And so we can imagine unborn tomorrows. God's got a plan for us. We talked about one of my favorite verses, Jeremiah 29:11, that God's got a plan, a sure hope for us. And so I'm excited. That's kind of where we were with habit number 5. So we're going to continue on that kind of imagining the unborn tomorrows, and then next week we'll finish up this lesson and this series as we see the clouds, which is really cool habit, and it really speaks to generational blessings and looking to a bigger picture. So we're going to be talking about that next week, but we are here at habit number 6, which is wind the clock. I had to do a double check on that because I looked like wind to me, but apparently you can spell it and pronounce it the same way. So, but I did have to double check that. So that's where we are, wind the clock. If you want to find your way in the Bible, or you got your study guide, you'll see that we're going to be in Ephesians chapter 5, and we'll be reading from that in just a few moments. In 1905, Albert Einstein did a thought experiment that would ultimately win him a Nobel Prize. Imagine 2 twins. One of them gets on a spacecraft traveling 4/5 the speed of light, returns to Earth 10 years later. When the twins are reunited, they will be different ages. The Earth-bound twin will be 10 years older, while the interstellar twin will be 6 years older. How is this possible? The faster we travel, the slower time moves. At half the speed of light, the speed of light, it is 7 times slower. 1 minute is reduced to only 8.5 seconds. Simply put, time is relative, right? That was the whole rule that Einstein came up with. Now, perhaps the Greeks knew that way before Einstein. They actually had 2 words for our English word time. We think we really got the English figured out. You know, they at least had, I like the Greeks, we talked about that. The Greeks at least have specific words for specific meanings, whereas we say, you know, the word bear, and we might have 3 or 4 different meanings, but they had 2 words for the word time, or quantitative. It is where we get our term chronological. It is managed by our calendar. We have days, we have weeks, we have months, we have years. It is measured or is sequential, providing us a past, a present, and a future. It is also measured